Hey there, Shortcuts. This is video 2 for the price list that will go out this Wednesday, November 19th. If you would like more details, hang around to the end of this video. I promise it's worth it. Well, there was only one record I could kick off this list with, and it is this. The Japanese first press with obi and posters of Master of Puppets by Metallica. I wonder how many of you saw Metallica last night. I was at Paddington Record Fair and I was setting up my stall when two guys came by, and I didn't realize, but just down the road, a pop-up store for Metallica had opened on Oxford Street just by Paddington Fair. This is early in the morning, 7:45 or so. It's just getting ready, just plonked a couple of crates. Finbar was grabbing a few others. These two guys started flicking through my hard rock and rarities and pulled out some Napalm Death and some Iron Maiden with Japanese first press Killers with a poster and some rare prints and Onslaught and some other thrash metal I had. And then one of them noticed the Japanese first press Master of Puppets, which they'd never seen. So I very carefully pulled out the posters. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to take the risk. The posters are pristine. There are two of them. The obi's perfect. The vinyl is perfect. And these guys just stared, and we looked at it and put it back because quite a big price tag on this one. And the larger of the guys, very softly spoken American, he reached over and he dropped something into the sleeve. I'm just going to show you what he dropped in. He dropped in this, the commemorative bass guitar pick for this particular tour. And he told me that Robert Trujillo had used that pick in Melbourne on last Saturday night or last whatever it was, Sunday. And he said to me, whoever buys that record now gets something from me as well. And off he went. And then a couple of other Metallica fans who were in the vicinity came over, kind of mouth agog. The two guys were two of the head roadies of the Metallica tour crew, and they got early access to the store before the hundreds of meter long queue that I could see. And so I just made my day. And the two of them went home with a bunch of my records, and it was a brilliant start to the day. Ended up being a totally great day. And whoever buys this will get that. What a fun thing. Now, it's unusual for me to lead off with, such a... Well, what do I say about Master of Puppets, by the way? What was fun was so many people then came to the stall to see, and to, not very many people have seen the Japanese first press with obi. And Finbar and I were driving home. Finbar's my 13-year-old son. And he said, can we listen to this? So we listened to Master of Puppets. He's a hip-hop guy. And he was arching his eyebrow and saying to me, is this really many people's favorite album? I was like, yeah. And then he's on Google looking up just how influential this record was in its symphonic range and aggression and melodicism, everything. There are certain bits of side one in particular that I think could be in an Ennio Morricone movie. And I was having that discussion with Finbar. Quantum Leap of a record. And that is as good as it gets. All right. So there's another band coming into Sydney next week. We've had Oasis, now we have Metallica. And next week we have AC/DC. And I pulled something out that is not typical for me. It's very rare for me to have a bootleg, but I think this particular bootleg is worth highlighting. I think there's someone out there that will love this more than me. This is the famed live 1979 AC/DC bootleg, featuring Bon Scott on vocals, Angus, Malcolm, Cliff and Phil, the classic lineup. This is manufactured in Europe, printed in 2022. And this is from the tapes of the Towson Center Maryland show that was broadcast live on KBFH FM radio. I have played it. It's really nice sound quality, and it is pressed on this red translucent vinyl. It's very hard to find. It is super nice hearing live Bon Scott. Of course it is. And I suppose all of us know If You Want Blood. But I thought, since AC/DC are rolling into town and playing live again, considering all the tragedy of recent years for that group, that there's someone out there who might love that record. Now, this next band, I don't think they're touring anytime soon, but this is the first time that I've ever had this. This is the Japanese first press of Eagles Live, the double album that they released. I'm going to have to say late 70s. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Late 70s, early 80s. What I want to note for those of you who are into these type of things, like I am, it comes complete with a massive poster, which I don't think has ever been folded out, and I am not going to be the one to do it. Whoever buys this can do it. It's got all the inners. It is in pristine condition. If someone said to me this had never seen a needle, I would believe them. I know that poster has never been folded out. It is too clean. It is in pristine condition. Now, I'm not even sure what the sound. Here we go. Side 1, Hotel California, Heartache Tonight, The Long Run, New Kid in Town, Life's Been Good, Waste of Time, Take It to the Limit, Desperado, Life in the Fast Lane, Take It Easy. This is the ultimate live album. By the sounds of that track list, it pretty much plays like a jukebox, eh? All right. I have a few Aussie presses of just genuinely great records that are sometimes hard to find, particularly where the vinyl is really nice. And in this case, all three of these have really nice vinyl, Aussie first presses. This is the Aussie first press of Faith by George Michael. I was about to say Michael Jackson. We all know this record. It's a very lovely record to listen to on vinyl, by the way. Father Figure sounds great. I Want Your Sex sounds great. Kissing a Fool. That rockabilly thrum of the title track. It's really punchy, radio friendly, cued really nicely. Good presence. Very, very, very fine record indeed. 80s pop perfection, I think is fair to say. Now, this next record's not one that I'm as keen on, but I know a lot of you out there love it, and it is this. It is Hysteria by Def Leppard, and this is the Aussie first press. Also in lovely, lovely condition with the inner. So if any of you are into a bit of Sheffield hard rock, a band that had its own tragic circumstances as well, then again find this very lively, balanced quite nicely. And then I'm going to save a little bit more for this, which is, I'm not sure it is my favorite Prince record, but it is right up there. It is Prince and the Revolution, and this is Parade. This features Kiss. I think that Parade just is a very intense record, but I think it's aged brilliantly. I think some of his music now, to me, sounds a bit aged, but not this one. I think it's masterclass, and it's just great. And so 3 of my favorite records that I happen to have in the crates and weren't picked up yesterday, and I thought you folks might like it. All right, I've been doing a run of Vinyl Me Please sealed exclusives. The company's now dead and gone. Don't believe the hype. It doesn't still exist. This guy, Nick Alt, who's running it right now, is doing nothing more than, you know, besmirching the reputation of that company. They made some great stuff. And this is another example. This is the on gold, shiny gold vinyl, limited to 1,000 copies. This is the Vinyl Me Please special press of Creedence Clearwater Revival's Pendulum. Chameleon, it's just a thought. I wish I could hide away. Have you ever seen the rain? Just, yeah, it's number 763 of 1,000. Their series of Creedence records were stellar. I missed out on Cosmos Factory like a fool. They had a beautiful blue vinyl copy and I missed it, and I've never been able to find it since. I like the late period CCR. It's a little bit more melancholic, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more crafted. Anyway, you can't go wrong with CCR. I've got something very different now and really rather rare. In fact, so rare, I have never seen this record before, let alone the US first press. I'm just going to show you. This is the self-titled debut album from Moby. So, New York, electronic, kind of became, I think, a phenomenon. But this has a little bit of punk, a little bit of ambience. Obviously, he was a Clubland shapeshifter, but this is a little bit different. Look at this on this black label, 1992. You do still get the break beats. Like 1,000, for example, has a pretty fierce breakbeat. There's a lot of really cool synth music, kind of alt dance crossover stuff. It's very kind of quirky and interesting. And that's the US first press, which is very rare, in absolutely fantastic condition too, let me say. Beautiful condition. If someone had said that hadn't been played, I would believe them. Yeah. If anyone knows more about this, I'm going to explore a bit more before the price list goes out on Wednesday. But yeah, I was surprised that no one grabbed it yesterday at the fair, but that means it's here for somebody else instead. All right, I am going to call out a couple of Chris Rea records. There's a few Chris Rea fans out there, and I got a few that you might be surprised. I've got the first press of The Road to Hell by Chris Rea, which I think came out, I remember it coming out, like I remember the title track being a really big hit. The Road to Hell Part 1, The Road to Hell Part 2, You Must Be Evil, Texas Looking for a Rainbow. 1989. Wow. So that's a beautiful Aussie first press. And I also have a Japanese first press of Dancing with Strangers by Chris Rea. So any of you wanting to feed your Chris Rea habit, there's a couple of nice ones right there for you. Dancing with Strangers was, I think, may have been the record just before The Road to Hell. Okay. This next one is an album that I know more and that I love very much indeed. It is another Aussie first press in really nice condition. I just wanted to share it. It is Gary Newman's Tubeway Army, their classic record Replicas. Me, I Disconnect From You, Our Friends Electric, The Mac Man, Praying to the Aliens, Down in the Park. An absolutely bonkers stellar side one. Again, with the inner and a really, really nice vinyl. For those of you who might not have this cornerstone of synth pop, it's a really nice opportunity to grab a great copy. Okay, I've only got a few more to go. I've got one sealed record. This is somewhat legendary. This is the UK first press of A Night at the Opera by Queen. This, the London maximalist Queen sound, but this is regarded as the best sounding copy of this record. It's immediate, it's got incredible texture and depth, it leaps at the screen. You can see the cut off sleeves indicating the first press. I've checked everything, it plays really nicely. For those of you who love this album, that UK first press could well be your forever copy. The sleeve on the front is a little bit marked, but other than that, in great nick. All right, and continuing with the theme of live bands, this band, I went to see a comedy show with my wife in the Enmore during the week, Jarlath Regan, who was great. And I saw that this band is coming to play, the Black Sorrows. Now, this is their Hold On To Me Aussie First Press, but this was the special edition that came with a free 12-inch. So it's, from what I can tell, these are very hard to find indeed. And the 12-inch is, which is often the case with records that had a free 12-inch, very few people played it any more than just a couple of times. It's in lovely condition. Can you see that? So kind of quintessential Aussie record. And for those of you going to see them, you might enjoy that copy. It's in beautiful condition. And I'm going to finish with an album that I've got a love-hate relationship, and it has eventually kind of veered back into love. And it is mostly because of this copy that was released a few years back and is really, really lovely. And that is the Sky Blue Sky vinyl version of Wilco's Sky Blue Sky. So you can see here, pressed on sky blue vinyl, Impossible Germany, hit it here either way, side with the seeds. This limited edition is sealed. I've had a copy of this for about a year and a bit, and then it sold out on the Artist First website, which is, by the way, the best place to get your Wilco gear. And it recently came back in, and I just grabbed another copy. I would rate that Wilco run of records up to and including A Ghost Is Born as a run as good as anything that was done in the 90s. And I think Sky Blue Sky came out, Nels Klein on guitar, and I remember thinking they've gone a bit too mellow for me. When they played live, it made sense to me more than on the album, but I've grown to enjoy the album more over time. It's got that kind of live in-room take sound that I think really works on record, maybe more than the CD that I was listening to at the time. And I wanted something a bit more caustic and noisy from Wilco. But Wilco do subvert, things as they go. This is very, very charming and very consistent and has some 3-part guitar masterpieces. And so therefore, I thought it was worth having on the list. If there was anything there that caught your eye and you would like the opportunity to buy, then send me an email, shortcutsrecords@gmail.com. The price list will go out 9 p.m. Sydney time this Wednesday, the 19th of November, and it is first come, first serve. If you've got a comment or thought on the list, please add it. I love them to bits. I don't get very many. It would be nice to hear from some of you, and I hope you found something there to enjoy. Bye.